All right, let's just introduce what a mail merge is. So, if your parents ever get like sweepstakes mail saying they might be a winner, or you get something that's, customized to you, like, say, for example, if you're over the number on attendance, there's a database somewhere and it says if someone is over this many days on attendance, take this data with these kids and merge it with this letter. And then they just send you a letter. There's no human involved in this process, just so you know. So that's what a mail merge is. It's taking data and combining it with a regular document. So you have to have two parts. You have to have a regular document, which we call a form document or a main document or the template document. There's kind of three names: form, main, or template, but it's the main document. And you're going to merge it with data. And that data could be a database in Access. It could be a spreadsheet in Excel, or you can create what's called an office address list in Word. So to get to this, I just made a little flyer here. I have name. You might have just won a prize in our contest. Contact us today. And I want it to have like your name, So if you're Gracie, I want this to say Gracie. And then I want to say won a car or, whatever. Okay. So in order to do this, you're going to use the mailings tab. Okay. And here's the thing. There's a lot of things, if you click here on start, there's a lot of things you can create using a mail merge. Letters means each of them will be on a different page. So it'll just automatically go to the next page and make a copy of that page and merge it with the next person. There's also envelopes, labels, like if we had 30 little labels all on one sheet, you print them on the labels and then you peel them all off. Or there's what's called a directory, and a directory just means they're all going to be like on the same page. So they'll just go one right after another on the same page. And you can go through the steps up here at the top, but for today, let's just look at the mail merge wizard, okay? Because we like wizards from Access. I'm going to click on the mail merge wizard, and it's going to say, what are you making? Well, if I want one page for each of these, I'm going to choose letters. And it would be a good idea for you to try this too. You don't have to put anything fancy on the page to try it. I'm going to click next. Step 2 says, how do you want to set up your letters? Well, I already typed stuff in here, so I'm going to use my current document. And then I'm going to hit next. Then it says, all right, let's select your recipients here. Do you have a list? Nope, I do not. So we're going to make a list. So from within here, we can make a list. Now, if we had a list, we could just go browse and find that database or that spreadsheet. But I'm going to say type a new list, and I'm going to click create. And then Word is going to create this sort of like generic address list. And you could, like, if your book had you to delete things, you would go in and you could delete columns. So you can customize columns here. So if I know I don't need title or I know I don't need email address, I can just delete those. Okay, but honestly, if you're not going to use them, it doesn't really matter. You could rename a file, a field, or you could add one. So like for prize, I could just add and click prize, and now prize is on there. Or I could, if I know I'm only going to use first name and last name, I could just, switch company name and I could just rename it and call it prize, right? So you can do it whatever. And it's kind of okay if you have like extra fields sometimes in these, unless of course your book tells you otherwise, right? But anyway, okay, so I've got title and prize, and I'm going to move prize up here, or not title. I have first name and prize is all we need. I'm just going to stick it up here by first name, so it'll be easier to see on the screen. Okay, so here's first name. So let's say Bobby. You're going to get a zebra. Okay, and then I want another new entry. Let's say Angela. She's going to get a car. And remember, I have the word A in front of it. So I need to remember these can't start with like a vowel or they aren't going to make sense. And then let's say Rachel, and she's going to get a cake. Okay, and we'll do one more, Dawn. And Dawn's going to get a computer. Okay, that's all you have to do. Then you have to hit OK, but you have to save this. Again, it's called an address list. You have to save this address list. It's automatically going to want to save it not to your OneDrive or to anywhere that makes sense. It's going to want to save it to the documents and the data sources. Don't let it go there. So never just hit save here. You're always going to want to pop it into your OneDrive. I'm just going to call this merge list prize. So I know that's what this is, but it's going to be a Microsoft Office address list, and hit save. Okay. Once you do that, it shows up in its own little box in here, so you can kind of see what's happening. Notice prize is way down here. You can still get back to that database that we just made by clicking this and going to edit, and it'll open up in here. And then if you need to add extra stuff or add more entries, you can do it. But otherwise, you're just previewing, and all you can do here is like sort it. So say I want to put it in alphabetical order or something, or filter it. Like if I was only going to do, certain, like if it was people with different grades, if I only want seniors or whatever, I could sort it by 12. You can hit these filter list arrows too to sort them ascending, just like I did. All right, so anyway, but once you get your data, you hit OK, and then now the data is connected. And notice up here at the top, once the data is connected, we now have all these little guys lit up, and they were all grayed out the first time, okay? Now you hit next, write your letter, and I really don't have to write my letter because I already wrote it, but I do need to replace these, which are just words, with actual, these are my placeholder words. I need to replace those with actual merge fields because it has to know where to get that data, okay? So I can't just have the word name in here. I have to insert what's called a merge field. And these merge fields came from that address list, remember? That's where these came from. So you can't just type them in. So if I want this to be first name, then instead of the word name there, I have to put it first name. And they're surrounded by chevrons, these little arrowy things. And notice when I click on the field, it turns gray. That tells you it's a special field. You can't just type it in like that. You have to use the Insert Merge Field button. Okay, and then here, same thing. I want to replace prize. So I'm going to insert this merge field, prize. And notice here, I have to be very careful because there's a space bar missing in front of the letter I. So I'm going to put a space in there. You have to be really careful about that. All right, there are some additional things that we'll talk about later in the chapter, like you could set some rules and stuff like that, but we won't do that now. I'm just going to hit preview. Now, preview is simply that. It's a preview. So you can make sure that you don't have any like space bar issues. Like if I decided I wanted a couple more of the, I can do it from the preview. You can do it from either of these, okay? But the preview isn't real, okay? It's literally just a preview. Okay, to make it real, so after I go to preview over here, and again, through here, we can preview all our recipients. See? To make it real, you have to do the last step, which is complete the merge. If you're using the buttons, it's finish and merge. And you're going to tell it you want it to edit individual letters. Notice when I hover my mouse over it, it says merge to new document. That's the official process of merging, merge to new document. So if I click on finish and merge, same thing. I have to say edit individual documents. It's kind of dumb. It ought to say merge to new document, but it doesn't. Okay, once you do this, this is going to create a third document. So I'm going to save this document. So we already have our data, which I saved already, remember? And let me browse, get to my file folder here. And again, see, it's trying to go places it doesn't need to go. All right, and so this is going to be my prize form letter, because a form letter is your main document, my template letter, whatever. Okay, so once we save that, now it's saved. Okay, now I'm ready. Oops, I didn't mean to click that twice. Now I'm ready to go to edit individual letters and actually complete the merge. So I click edit individual letters. See, it says merge to new document. I want to merge all of them. I'm going to hit OK. All right, now notice the second document is now open. Technically, it's there because we also have a data source. And it calls it letters 1. So I'm going to call this one, just to keep everything straight. Oh my gosh, here it goes again. It always, every time, pops out of there to some different place. All right, so I'll say this is the prize merged letters. I think your book usually makes you call it merged letters too. Anyway, so once I hit that, and again, they're not really letters, they're just one per page. But this document is actually all of them. So if I go to view here, and I go to multiple pages, so you can see there's Angela, there's Bobby's, there's Dawn, and there's Rachel, and I can print them all out, and I've got all of them. And if I had 1,000 names in there, I'd have a 1,000-page document right now. Okay, so I just want you to play for a minute. Don't do anything fancy. You don't even have to put a picture on there if you don't want to. But just so that you can see how to create a data source from within Word, how to create a letter and add those merge fields in it to create that main document or that template document, and then how to actually combine all of that by performing that final merge. All right, so at the end of this, you should have 3 saved documents. Good luck.